Hello everybody, welcome back to the Divinity walkthrough. We've got a quick little conversation with Jahan, and then I'll join you right after.
There is a superhuman quality to your progress that both impresses and pleases me. Do continue to pursue the depths of your potential with relentless resolution. Yes, seek power for power's sake. Forswear the pitfalls of morality. Forswear both good and evil. The promises of duty and ambition. Let power be the end of its own means, and nothing in this world will be able to stand in your way. And there we have it. The weak-mindedness that, like a cancer, eats away at the foundations of strength and dominion. That devours and grows until it undoes the drive for power completely. Know ye then, weak-minded ones, that only if you cast aside all desire, and instead focus on the utter mental and physical mastery of supremacy over all, the means, as well as the ends, will melt into ultimate purpose. This purpose, I have my own. As do you, that much is clear. Though, perhaps you may as yet be unaware of its true design and composition. So, let us continue our journey, for it is in the journey that purpose takes shape. Go forth, ever on, before grinning time turns us into frail, failed fools.
Okay, so I think that conversation there just happens after you've hit a certain level, I think, anyway, with Jahan in your party, or Jahan, sorry. I've got used to calling him Jahan, and I'm pretty sure it's actually Jahan. I'm pretty sure, and I think they actually mention that. Someone says his name, or actually he does, I think. I think that's when you first recruit him. But, yeah, so that dialogue there is, I don't know, kind of little, it's a little weird. He's like, you know, power is, the quest for power is kind of its own reward, or something like that. But or he says you should, you know, seek out power for its own sake. I guess that was my take, which, whatever. But all right, so I am going to stick a couple of points into blacksmithing and crafting here. Now, you actually only need to get to the base level 2 on both of those. So really, you only need to put 3 points total into blacksmithing and 3 points total into crafting for Jahan, because you can get a belt that's got +1 crafting and blacksmithing, and then you can get gloves that have +1 blacksmithing and crafting. So again, to get both of those to level 5, and he's already got scientist, keep in mind too. So that's 3 points from gear and scientist combined. So you only, like I said, you only need to get that those final 2 points.
That's quite the valuable gift. Only the best for my favorite partner. Your kindness is a great comfort to me. I'll return this favor at the earliest possible moment.
Okay, that was kind of random. I think I bought a, what was this, an epic ring, and then I gave it to my other character from the, basically passed it between the 2 main characters, and I guess that triggers some dialogue as to, you know, gift giving and whatnot. So, all right, so I'm going to put a couple of points into speed. I think if you notice here, when I go from 7 to 8. The action points, or the regeneration there, that's the +8 if you look up towards the top. So normally that was at 7 before, so I was only regenerating 7 action points per round in combat, but with my speed up to 9 now, it'll be at 8. And then I'm just trying to decide where to put my last attribute point. I know my goal for these characters are not to necessarily just wear robes the entire game. I don't really... I mean, the armor is not very good on robes, but robes are intelligence-based, so... whereas the heavier armor... So there's basically 3 different types, actually, of armor. And the heavier armor is based off of your strength, the medium or light armor is based off of dexterity, and then the light armor or robes is based off of your intelligence. So, like I said, at some point here I'll at least put a few points probably into strength, because I actually want to wear that heavy armor. Although, to be fair, normally what I do is just look for gear that has the stats that I like on it. So, you know, to be honest, I may end up wearing a medium armor piece on my, like a chest piece, as opposed to like a heavy armor piece, because again, it may have, or I may find one that's got or like a stat on it that I like, or say immunity to stun or something. So again, I like to keep it, I like to mix it up, keep it, I don't know, I guess just keep my options open, I suppose I should say. So, I will probably try to get around at least like a 9 for strength or so, and then maybe that high for dexterity as well. Which, I don't know, I guess it's arguable whether or not that's that great of an idea. The good part, obviously, is that you'll take less damage because you'll be wearing heavier armor as a mage. But the bad thing is, by doing that, you're using attribute points into strength, whereas you could be putting those into intelligence. And that's going to affect my my damage that I do with wands, as well as my cooldowns in combat. So again, I'm only going to put a few points in here and there just to try to get into, or to break into the heavier armor. And then after that, I will be most likely sticking with other stats. And actually, I really like speed. So, and I know I've brought that up a bit in a few of the other videos. I mean, it's the big reason for that is just having more action point regeneration in combat. I find that quite useful. I haven't decided if I'm going to go with glass cannon or not yet. In one of my other games, I actually did do that, but I'm not all that wild about it. I think it only gives you, well, I shouldn't say only. I think it gives you 4 action point regeneration per turn in combat, which is, I mean, frankly, that's huge. That's 8 points of speed if you put it into attribute, or in relation to attribute points. So you get a lot of bang for your buck. The problem is your vitality, it gets cut in half, so you'll only have half as much health as you normally would have. Which is, okay if you're able to keep that person safe. I would argue that it's probably best for, mages or rangers, or, maybe something that can use a stealth skill right after they're done attacking or something. But that's, I don't know, I'm not wild about that idea. I think it's better to have it on, like, ranged characters. I think I'm going to go with bigger and better as my first... Or is it my first talent? No, this is technically my second, I think. I guess for a total of... Oh, now I missed it. I'm not sure how many I've got now. Oh, and then I forgot to put my points in. There we go. Oh, wow. So I went with 11 speed. Okay, so 9 action point regeneration in combat now. That's pretty hefty. But, okay, so I think yeah, okay. So after doing all my leveling up, and I think I went and picked Medora back up. I think I had her at the end of time because I was running her with Jehan and crafting. So now we've got her back, and it's time to move on.
The Source Hunter. Sorry for the gruff treatment. I didn't recognize you right away. Please tell me, how can I aid the investigation? You can see security's tighter than ever around here since that surprise attack the Orcs bid on a fortnight ago. They did enough damage to shake up Ahu and Captain Aureus something fierce. We can only hope to hold back the undead and these left-field orc attacks long enough for reinforcements to arrive. Certainly, though it's a shame we can't lend you our swords on your expedition.
Look alive, my good man.
Okay.
This gate'll be short work for a well-equipped contingent of orcs.
All right. So I'm not sure if this is. I mean, I think this is an okay route to go. I think this is just kind of the way I've always gone. I went to the west side and to the west gate first, as opposed to the north. What would that have been? The northwest gate that leads into like the zombie area. There's a fight right outside the gate with some zombies, and I don't remember what level those were out there, but I think I do okay out here. The reason being is obviously I skipped a little bit. I shouldn't even say that. I jumped ahead a bit and did the stuff kind of near Silver Glen, which again, very. I mean, it's normally you probably wouldn't be doing that. That's. I don't want to say it's like more advanced gameplay or anything like that. That sounds corny, but yeah, it's just that's not normally the way you would I think go about going through the game. And obviously it's really difficult, but anyway, so long story short, what I'm trying to say here is I think I'm fairly appropriately leveled now for this area. Or at least I felt like it went pretty well. Granted, my gear is still super bad. It's really trashy. And that'll be really obvious here in this next fight or two. It takes a really long time to get through this. Okay, so out here you have to be really careful because all this stuff is you're considered to be stealing it from Charla here, and we'll meet her in a bit. But I'm gonna just go invis and basically steal everything and loot all these corpses. But and man, this is quite the battle out here. Pretty gory scene here. Not all of this stuff is I guess flagged as stealable, but I think all the corpses are. Yeah, there's see that dagger, that random dagger, that one apparently wasn't being counted as being stolen. The first time I ever played this game, I tried to do like sneak style stealing in here, and it's nearly impossible because of this goofy fire totem thing here on the ground. That's kind of like counts as a person. So if you're just trying, if you like initiate a dialogue with Charla and then just try to steal, that thing will bust you. So I should say it'll bust you if you get in its line of sight. So again, I don't know. I think that obviously the best way to steal everything here, if you want to, is to just go invisible, walk in shadows, or forget that. I think it's the Etherthurge, whatever, has a invisibility spell as well. So you know, if you have a mage, you can actually steal things with your mage instead. There we go. Which I didn't learn until much later in the game. So I remember the first time playing this game was pretty tough. I didn't know, and I played on tactician mode right away. I probably should have maybe played on a different difficulty and then tried tactician later, but yeah, that was
Oh,
that was how it went.
hello. What have we here? An adventurer, I judge, by the world-weary look of your weapon, and a noble by the wonderfully deep pockets clipped to your belt. What luck! What luck! Charla is my name, good friend. I came to this second life some time ago. Some years? Years it must be. Or perhaps not. In any case, it has been time well spent hunting out magnificent goods and selling them to interested parties. So many wonderful artifacts I've found, so many precious relics I'd be so happy to rehome to a trusted buyer. Have a look by all means. You'll find every make and kind of impressive accessories, but you'll also find certain very rare relics too. You look like just the sort of self-starter to appreciate what I mean. Weapons, 4 of them, that the intrepid adventurer can improve and upgrade as he travels if he finds the right pieces. See them? See them? Judge for yourself.
Okay, so Charla here obviously is a merchant. She's got some interesting stuff here. She's got 4 weapons that they're like weapon kits. And so what do you have here? A 2-handed axe, a 1-handed sword, a staff, and then a bow. I just bought all of them for the heck of it. I actually don't plan on using any of them. But I think they can be good as long as you can get the other parts. So like I was saying, they're upgradable, and the parts that the parts to upgrade them are randomly found throughout the world.
That is, unless you fancy a glance at some of my wonderful goods.
And Charla's pretty funny. I don't know. And so Charla there is actually part of a side quest as well that we'll do much later. For the time being, though, keep in mind she's got a lot of good stuff, and then on top of that, she sells crafting items too. So if you're doing what I'm doing, you'll be visiting her a lot.
Weapons. Away! Leave humble Hawk to mourn in peace. I don't want to fight. I ain't after no fancy stone. I just want to bury these bodies the traditional way. It's the least I could do for my dear brother, Oggy. Oh, he was such a dear lad, he was. We wanted to see the world. But we saw next to nothing before he was called to serve the old mother in the afterlife. In our village, oh, poor Oggy will never see her again. Tradition goes that a warrior should be buried with his best armor so he can defend himself in the afterlife. There weren't so many spoiled after the battle, but I managed to give old Oggy the best set. A proud send-off for a proud soldier.
A grave with a full set of hand-picked armor, eh? We've got to know its location. I second that. His brother won't be using that armor now that he's gone to the great orc sty in the sky.
You want the location of Oggy's grave? Now what use could you have for that, small bones? Keep bothering about it, and I may have to call over my friends from up the beach to deal with you.
Loot. Hand me my shovel. First one to strike gold buys dinner. What's this? I found something.
Away with your weapons! Away! Leave them. And why'd you be needing that information, small bone?
Okay, so Brognar here. This quest, I'm not sure if I did this quite right, but I guess we're gonna find out here. He's got his initial dialogue there gives you, I think, like, what is it, +1 spiritual if you decide to leave something like leave the grave alone. But if you say that you want to, like you want the armor or whatever, I believe that gives you the +1 to materialistic. And the problem is though, if you choose to, I think, leave it alone, you don't get the option to take this this second dialogue part where you go with the mini game. Yeah, so you have to ask him where is your brother, or where's your brother's grave exactly. And here I keep losing. So, whoops. We'll get her here eventually. I think it might be this next shot. So again, you notice here the rock paper scissors mini game is not my favorite. But you know what? It's extra experience, so I'm going to do it. It's gonna happen.
Away with your weapons!
Oh, what do we got here? Oh, Medora has a dialogue here too.
That pathetic heap of source-addled frog skin thought it could fool us, did it? Old Medora knows for certain that orc would have loved nothing better than to axe you in the back while he cried on your shoulder.
Why, Why?
You rookies are learning fast. They say every time an orc bleeds, the Havoc demon who crafted it loses one of his many cursed appendages. Putting down those savages is the work of the gods, I say.
Putting down these savages is the work of the gods. Boy, you gotta be wary of anybody that says something like that. But so again, Medora doesn't show, she doesn't seem to register Victoria at all. So, I don't know. Alright, anyways. So Brognar shows us where his brother's buried at here, and then the problem with, I think the problem with doing it this way is, I don't know if I should even say the problem, because I kind of wanted to do it like this, but when you dig in front of his face, he gets angry. So I don't know if you can talk to him and like turn him around and then dig behind his back. I guess I didn't try that because I wanted to smoke him for the EXP anyway. So other than that, because he's not really of any use to keep alive as far as I know. But I vaguely remember doing this differently though, so I don't know. Maybe the dialogue options I went through there wasn't what I actually wanted. I'm not sure, but because I thought I wanted to go with the spiritual option. Let me just check here. Let's see, character, talents. No, it's the wrong person. Nicoleta. Traits. Here we go. Yeah, I wanted to go with the spiritual route. So okay. So I actually did do this a little bit differently, now that I'm looking at it. The spiritual trait gives you immunity to fear. So yeah, I'm always going to stick with those options as opposed to the materialistic. So back there when we had that for, I think it was the very, very first dialogue option. Yeah, I needed to answer it differently and say leave it alone. And then you can actually come over here and just dig up the grave.
That shovel has proven worth its weight, it seems. Indeed. And who knows what manner of riches we'll unearth together with this tried and true treasure digger. Enough to finish this mission with a long vacation in the tropics. gazing side by side at a burgundy horizon, if we're lucky.
Okay, so we're gonna
Careful now.
get rich here digging stuff up and I don't know, take a vacation, it sounds like. But alright, so that gets you the orc armor, and just to spite her, I'm gonna stick it on Medora. How's that? Alright, and then you have to be careful around here, dude. This area right here is just littered with explosive traps. So, I think I'm, what do I have, like 7 in perception on my henchwoman? Henchperson? Yeah, alright, let's get that armor on Medora. I'm sure she'll just love knowing that it belonged to an orc. How awesome is that? Is that considered poetic justice? I don't know. Or irony, satire, I don't know. I get them all mixed up.
Careful now.
Okay. Oh, we got a trap. No, let's get rid of that. Actually, I don't really recommend getting rid of all these traps because there's a bunch of them, and I just don't think it's really worth the time. So what I'm actually going to do here is... Oh, yeah, I forgot to dig up all the rest of these graves. Okay, so in front of all of these little totem thingamajigs is a dead body, an orc body, and we'll dig that up and grab whatever they've got, because that's how we roll. All right, what are we doing here? Equipping some, equipping some rods, I guess. Oh, by the way, so the last dialogue option there was no trait, or there wasn't anything related to traits after you use the shovel to dig up the orc corpse. Okay, that's back the way we came. And there is another totem around here somewhere. I think there's actually a total of 3. Yeah, 3 of these little totem things. And then the final one there with the orc's brother, which there is no marker, unfortunately, for his. So you just have to know where it's at, or I guess watch my video and see it. So, like I said earlier, though, I did. Where is that? There it is. There it is.
I found something.
So like I said earlier, though, I actually did do this a little bit differently. I remember that first dialogue option there with Brognar. I answered it differently because I wanted to go with the spiritual route. So I think I just told him that I would leave the grave alone. Now, granted, I did go dig it up. Boom! Oh my God, everything's burning. Oh, someone's gonna die. I'm not that fast. Sometimes I can save people that are next to being dead, but not this time. That was
Back on my feet
way
again.
too close, and I was not expecting that. I thought I had enough perception on my main character to spot some of those traps, but that was not the case. So I need to walk around a bit with my other character here that's got a better perception rating. But, alright, so that's pretty much it for this video. The next one we will progress a little bit further and finally do some battle. It feels like it's been forever. Well, I guess it hasn't been that long. We did do the stuff over by Silver Glen, but still, feels like it's been a while. So, alright, as per usual, I hope this guide was helpful and hope you join me for more videos. Thanks for watching.
These footprints are enormous. Watch out. Orcs that large think with their clubs, not their heads.